What if the biggest power move in hip-hop history wasn't just about music, but about control? Because right now, as legal pressure reportedly builds around Jay-Z, old moments people once celebrated are being pulled back under a microscope. And here's the part that's making everyone uneasy. What once looked like opportunity now looks, to some critics, like something else entirely.
She's the biggest baby when she came over here. And then we got 14 going on 15 years old. Flown over without parental supervision. In a private plane by a man who was supposed to be a producer who auditioned her at 3 a.m. in the morning. In a hotel room. Auditioning. At 3 a.m. in the morning, a 14-year-old girl. She was flown to another country. She was taken to Def Jam headquarters. She was left in a conference room alone with Sean Carter for nearly 6 hours alone, with no parental supervision. Her father collected a $500,000 check. She has the fastest inked deal in Def Jam.
It starts with a teenage Rihanna flying into New York, wide-eyed, ambitious, and suddenly inside the Def Jam machine. By 3 a.m., according to past interviews, a contract was on the table. Jay-Z later joked there were 2 ways out, the door with a deal or the window. At the time, it sounded like classic industry drama. But now, critics online argue it feels different. Late-night negotiations. A 16-year-old artist. Massive power imbalance. Supporters insist it was just a defining career moment. Others question whether that kind of pressure should ever exist. And that's where things begin to shift.
And when we played, sang another ballad from the album last time. She said, "Oh, what did he say to you? He said something to you." Oh yeah, he said, "We don't sing songs here, we sing artists." And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, "I'm very interested." And there was this sudden feel of relief. I think he said, "But I went to open the door." Oh, then he said, he said it more. So he said, "There's 2 ways to leave here. Either through the door with the deal signed, or through this window, and we're going to 29th floor." You was like, "Where's the pen? Paper? I'm signing." Yeah.
The audience is so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if Tyra was trying to get that on the record, but my God, what Jaguar? He threatened her. These are her own words coming out of her mouth. And she was a kid at that time, correct?
13-year-old girl who had been flown to the United States without parental supervision or a chaperone, brought to a grown man's office in a large corporate Manhattan building. Everybody knew when she flew in. I was there the day she got signed.
And beautiful. When I met her that day, I knew she was a star. Like, just her look, the way she walked into a room and her confidence, and she performed in my office.
And she was, what, 17 years old at that point?
She was 16.
16, and she has the confidence of it. She's like an old soul in a sense, right?
Absolutely.
So she walks in your office and what, she just belts out a tune?
Belts out a tune, she performs, and I tell her, there's no way out of this office. I signed her that day.
Wow.
Work ethic, everything is there. So we signed her that night. We didn't let her leave the office. Really? The 3 in the morning was when that contract got signed. So from the meeting around 3, 4 in the afternoon, we signed it by 3 in the morning.
Then the temperature rises. 50 Cent starts speaking, not accusing, but questioning. He suggests the industry protects its own. He hints that when powerful men move in silence, it's rarely accidental. He doesn't present proof. He doesn't claim inside knowledge. But he keeps the spotlight pointed in one direction. And once that happens, social media does the rest. But then it gets heavier. An amended lawsuit tied to a 2000 VMA afterparty reportedly names both Jay-Z and Diddy. The anonymous accuser claims she was 13 at the time. The allegations are serious and disturbing, but they remain allegations, disputed and not proven in court. Jay-Z has strongly denied everything, calling the claims false and demanding due process. Still, the fact that his name is formally attached to a filing changes the energy. It's no longer rumor. It's paperwork.
Twist in a high-profile lawsuit accuses rapper Jay-Z of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000 alongside Sean Diddy Combs. The lawsuit, originally filed in October, was refiled today to include Jay-Z as a defendant. The anonymous accuser claims the assault occurred at an MTV Video Music Awards after-party. Jay-Z has denied the allegations in a statement on Rock Nation's Instagram, calling the accusations heinous and urging a criminal complaint be filed instead of a civil one. He also criticized the attorney behind the lawsuit, Tony Busby, accusing him of exploiting the case for personal gain.
Inside the building, plaintiff recognized many celebrities as she entered what appeared to be a large living room or foyer containing a large crowd. Plaintiff attempted to mingle in the crowd and talk to several of the celebrities that she recognized and whom she wanted to see at the VMAs. Waitstaff circulated throughout the room, carrying trays of drinks, and loud music played throughout the venue. Plaintiff observed widespread drug use, including marijuana and cocaine. After attempting to talk to numerous celebrities, plaintiff accepted a drink from one of the waitresses, circulating the crowd. The drink was a reddish-yellow mixture that tasted like orange juice, cranberry juice, and something bitter. After drinking just a portion of that drink, plaintiff began to feel woozy and lightheaded, making her need to lie down. A photograph of an actual exemplar container used by Combs and or his agents/employees to insert GHB into alcoholic drinks is seen below. And these are the photos included in the lawsuit that show a small plastic container that the plaintiff claims contained drugs at the party. The woman, remember, who claims she was 13 at the time, says she felt woozy and went to look for a place to lay down. Soon after, Combs entered the room along with defendant Carter and a female celebrity, Celebrity B. Plaintiff immediately recognized all three celebrities. Combs aggressively approached plaintiff with a crazed look in his eyes, grabbed her and said, "You are ready to party." Combs then threw plaintiff toward a wall, causing plaintiff to fall. Plaintiff got up and stumbled, at which point Combs grabbed her again and threw her on the bed. At that point, Carter began removing plaintiff's clothes as she grew more and more disoriented. Plaintiff was held down by Carter as he vaginally raped her, while Combs and Celebrity B watched. After Carter was finished, he stepped back toward the wall. Combs then stepped forward and vaginally raped plaintiff while Carter and Celebrity B watched. Combs then knocked plaintiff down and attempted to force plaintiff to perform oral sex on him. She fought back, standing up quickly and punching out at the same time, hitting Combs in the neck. Taken aback, Combs...
And here's where it gets messy. Legal analysts start dissecting language. Civil versus criminal. Burden of proof. Strategy. Jay-Z publicly accuses attorney Tony Busby of extortion and blackmail, saying he won't pay one red penny. Busby pushes back, reportedly standing by the case. When statements get that personal, it stops feeling like standard celebrity damage control. It feels like a battle.
Jay-Z and Diddy and a teenager, 13-year-old. Right. And we were speaking about just the statement.
Right.
The statement, you were saying you felt like that was calculated.
That was, the statement is something you can tell it was written by a lawyer. Mm-hmm. But there's a point where it kind of gets aggressive. He says, you're going to find out, like how I'll handle this. And that's an attorney want to be combative with another attorney. That's not like a publicist would say those things.
This is on your, this is on, it says, I don't know what's going on, but are we still going to have the Super Bowl? I'm just asking for a friend.
Yeah, I'm asking for Kendrick. I'm just trying to figure out if we're still doing everything the way. Because they will fall back, but the NFL, they won't necessarily be associated to that.
Right. Why do you not insert yourself, but you're on top of every topic, right?
Yeah. I'm just watching. I'm participating. I'm being part of culture. I'm just telling my opinion.
Right.
Look, this is you part of the culture. I can't say anything now. I'm out of it. I'm going to Dre's studio and just sit with Dre.
Jaguar Wright enters the conversation again, claiming long-standing industry patterns. She frames it as systemic, not isolated. Her comments remain controversial and disputed, but they amplify one theme: accountability. And once accountability becomes the word of the week, everyone starts re-evaluating old footage, old interviews, old alliances.
Always advocate for yourself and be a voice for yourself. You should never let what somebody else did run your life.
A 38-year-old mother from Alabama who has filed a lawsuit accusing Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z of raping her when she was 13 years old is speaking out to NBC News for the first time. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
What made you want to come forward and talk today?
Because think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through, and it's been hard enough to be quiet. But it's a chapter of my life that I'd like to close.
You weren't scared to be all alone?
No, with having autism is like feeling like you live your life in a shatterproof juggle ball. The world's on fire. The fire is inside the ball with you, but there's no way for you to get out.
In addition to having autism, the woman says she suffered a head injury. The night of the 2000s VMAs, she says a friend drove her from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, a more than 5-hour drive. Her attorney provided NBC News with the name of the friend who has since died. The woman says she spoke to Combs' limo driver, who offered her a ride to an after party.
I stumbled upon Diddy's driver, who told me that I was exactly what Diddy was looking for.
What did you think when he said that to you?
I thought it meant that I was just pretty.
She went to a White House, she says, where she spoke to musicians Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo because, you know, I have about his tattoo that's the Last Supper because I have a religious background. So it was just something to talk about.
At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter took turns raping her while a female celebrity watched.
JC comes in and rapes me. Well, at that point, I was fighting, trying to get away from him, and he put his hand over my mouth and told me to stop it, cut the
After the alleged rape, she says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up and drove her home.
We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened. He didn't ask me.
There are whispers now. Alleged flash drives. Supposed recordings. Talk of protective evidence. None of it confirmed in court. None of it independently verified. But the rumors alone are enough to make insiders nervous. And when powerful networks, including NFL partnerships and major brand deals, are mentioned in speculation threads, you can feel the tension ripple outward.
She could theoretically win if her testimony were especially compelling, but I think you put your finger on one of the real weaknesses is that these allegations are ancient. One thing that left out to me is the allegations also include that there was a witness, yes. Other than Diddy, who a female, another woman. Her testimony, and obviously she will be subpoenaed, could be crucial. I mean, if that testimony corroborated plaintiff's claims, then that would be something that would really be a game changer. But the plaintiff alone, I think, is going to face some credibility issues, especially when you have Jay-Z. I mean, the allegations are pretty widespread, but there haven't been similar allegations about Jay-Z.
People at risk, often mentioned online, was Jay-Z. Real name Sean Carter, came up in the New York rap scene alongside Sean Combs. And just a few days ago, Texas attorney Tony Busby made it official. He filed an amended complaint on behalf of Jane Doe, who says that she was raped by Combs and Carter when she was just 13 years old. That this happened at a VMA's after party back in 2000. Now, the original complaint mentioned Celebrity A and Celebrity B, a man and woman, as being present for and even Celebrity A participating in the alleged assault. Well, now Celebrity A has been identified as Jay-Z, who has adamantly denied anything like that ever happening. He is very, very clear on that. In fact, he has accused Tony Busby of extortion, saying that Busby's attempts to get celebrities to pay out huge sums of money in exchange for not being named in civil lawsuits with what he claims are false allegations amounts to blackmail. In fact, Jay-Z is believed to be the John Doe who just recently filed a lawsuit against Tony Busby anonymously, claiming extortion and intentional infliction of emotional.
What makes this different isn't just the lawsuit. It's the timing. It's the way decades-old clips are resurfacing next to present-day allegations. It's the way public opinion shifts faster than any courtroom schedule. No verdict has been reached. No criminal conviction exists. Just claims, denials, and a very public standoff.
Jay-Z has now had an official lawsuit. It's everywhere. It's now being talked about louder than ever. I guess, does that give you some peace to know that people are finally really questioning this man?
It's emboldening me. I spoke on Piers Morgan. I said that I had 3 victims that I've been working with, victims of the Carters, that were ready to come forward. This might help them feel a little more confident now. So this is great because he's been evading. But the thing is, everyone in the backdrop knew that he was the celebrity John Doe. Everybody knew that. They knew it when I did Piers Morgan.
Is Beyonce celebrity B?
I hope to God not. But she was around. And she's very... she's got enough on her plate. After everything that happened with the election and everything that's happening right now, I'm not going to dump on that woman. She got better fish to fry.
Well,
what I will say is that her husband, she knows exactly who he is.
Yeah.
She knows.
So what does this mean for Jay-Z's legacy? That depends on what happens next. If the allegations collapse under scrutiny, this becomes another example of a powerful figure surviving controversy. But if more evidence surfaces, if more names get pulled into filings, the conversation changes permanently. Right now, everything sits in that uncomfortable grey area between alleged and proven. Between loyalty and suspicion. Between influence and accountability. And here's the question nobody can answer yet. Is this just noise around powerful men, or are we watching the beginning of a turning point the music industry can't undo?
Jamie Foxx is during a confrontation at his birthday dinner. A day after the Oscar winner was allegedly involved in a physical altercation with an unidentified person, resulting in him needing to get stitches. The 57-year-old takes to Instagram on December 14th to address the situation and thank fans for their support. And Jamie first shares a simple message on his feed that I'm too blessed to be stressed. But I'm too blessed to be stressed. He then writes in the caption of the post, the devil is a lie. Can't wait and check on to everybody. The light is shining bright on me. They try to light is shining bright, but they don't know that you're built for it. But they don't know that you're shining bright. On December 13th, the Ray actor was celebrating turning 57 was celebrating at a restaurant in Beverly Hills. At a restaurant in Beverly Hills. When things reportedly took a turn, a rep for the actor told Jamie Foxx was at his birthday dinner. Jamie Foxx was at his birthday dinner. When someone from another table through a glass that stitches and is recovering. He had to get stitches and is recovering. The matter is now the police were called and the matter is now in law.
Not only the attorney lawsuit against him, against lawsuit against Diddy, that would be Tony Busby, the attorney, that would be Tony Busby, the attorney, the accuser. But also, he has filed a new motion this morning. Filed a new motion this morning, but basically, which we're going to get to in a moment. He wants to level the playing field with the accuser. Level the playing field with the accuser. But first, we got to start with Jay-Z had to the allegations that Jay-Z had to the allegations. You hadn't heard. Catch you up real quick. A woman who filed a lawsuit against Diddy back in October, Diddy alleging that he had raped her, alleging that he had raped her at a VMA after party in the year 2000. She was only 13 years old.
She allegedly was given a drink. She felt woozy, and there was a drink. She felt woozy, and there was a male celebrity who was unnamed at the time. And there was a male celebrity who was unnamed at the time.
Unnamed celebrity is now named celebrity. She refiled the lawsuit on Sunday. She refiled the lawsuit on Sunday. Refiled an attorney, Tony Busby, Jay-Z as named Jay-Z as involved in the named celebrity. Jay-Z's response is extraordinary in that seen all these lawsuits against Diddy, seen all these lawsuits against Diddy, dozens of them now. Frequently, his response has been to deny it. His response has been to deny it. Jay-Z went say nothing else. Jay-Z went than just denying it. He did do that than just denying it. He did do that directly after the attorney. Went directly after the attorney said, my lawyer received a blackmail attempt. My lawyer received from a lawyer named Tony Busby. From a lawyer named Tony Busby. It made me want to expose you, Tony Busby, in a very public fashion. In a very public fashion. I will not give you one red penny. This lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these types. You claim to be a Marine. Marines are known for their valor. Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity.
The New York Times contacted me to ask for my response to rapper Jay-Z's allegations that I tried to extort and blackmail. My response is pretty straightforward. My response is pretty straightforward. Threats. No one has made any threats. Jay-Z's assertions are bogus. Instead, our firm sent a standard demand letter seeking a mediation on behalf of a woman who alleges Jay-Z sexually assaulted her as a minor. Jay-Z sexually assaulted her as a minor. By our client, whose vetted and approved by our client, whose preference was to attempt resolution short of filing a lawsuit. In these types of cases, what you're seeing played out now is a coordinated and desperate effort to focus the public's attention on the allegations being made by my clients. This effort has included harassing my family and colleagues, and even offering former clients money to sue me, which is illegal. When an alleged perpetrator behaves in this manner, wildly asserting that a basic demand letter is extortion, and aggressively using the media to attack the opposing lawyer while ignoring the allegations being made by the alleged victims, being made by the famous line from Shakespeare. It reminds me of a famous line from Shakespeare. Too much. The lady doth protest too much. We intend to address all of these issues with the court. We will not be bullied or intimidated by these shenanigans.
A lot of allegations, right? Are you expected to eventually turn those things over, or
that's what we're going to head over to do now? So we have a hearing now to determine what we're going to do in terms of what documents we'll have to turn over and what documents we're not.
So why were you reporting to the grand jury?
Just to give testimony to the grand jury. He was subpoenaed by the court. So as we all know, if you don't answer a subpoena, the marshals will come to your house as they came to his house and they will bring you here. So that's why we're here today.
Celebrities per se. I know you can't mention celebrities per se. You did mention some in the interview. So just to clarify, you can back that up with actual footage. Factual footage.
It's things that we have. It's things that we have, but we got to go to the other courthouse. So I don't know if that's any more questions. But we got another hearing.
Are you nervous, or do you feel?
I ain't no nervous. Only thing scared me is God.
But I know you did mention what was on the flash drive before. Would you be able to kind of go over that now, or is that something that you can't discuss?
No, we're trying to go to discuss that now. What we will be able to talk to in terms of what was available and what was on those flash drives.
Okay,
but it was the book.
So it is Kim Porter's book, so it is Kim Porter's book, but not necessarily some of the stuff with the celebs that were mentioned. Besides,
it's hers. Nobody touched it.
So it is her official. So it is her official book, and no one touched it.
Nobody altered it.
And no one touched it.
Nobody altered it.
So it's not the copy that the gentleman said that he was selling before. No,
it's two different copies. That one was edited.